Welcome back, everybody. Sarcasm Speaks. Jared and Bob here coming at you on a fucking, what is today? Tuesday? Yeah, that is when we record these, right? Or a Thursday if you're listening. But you said you get something you want to fire off with. I'll let you go.
Yeah. So Michaela's cousin showed me something called the Immaculate Grid. Do you know what thing is?
No.
So the Immaculate Grid is a 3x3 grid hosted by Pro Football Reference, or like the whoever makes like the reference site, like Hockey Reference, Pro Football
Oh,
Reference.
it's the game, right? Where like
Yeah.
they give you parameters and you have to pick the
Yeah.
player. Yeah, I've seen
See,
that before.
generally speaking, this is a problematic thing for me. Um because it feeds into my autism, and it definitely is something that you can be like super fucking addicted to.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you just go to Immaculate Grid, is it immaculategrid.com or do you just Google it? I don't know, whatever. So it's like, it's almost like doing a Punnett square.
Yeah.
So like the top left box is Broncos and Giants. So I put in Brandon Marshall. Okay.
Right.
The next one down is like Falcons, Giants. I put in Devontae Freeman. Next one's like Hall of Fame in New York, Giants. I'll put Strahan.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next one is Bengals. So we got Broncos, Bengals. Shit. Top of my head, I don't really know. Broncos, Bengals. Again, I'm like, I need to like actually spend some time doing this because I can't just rattle this shit off quick.
Yeah.
One of the columns, I'm gonna run out of guesses because again, I'm doing it on the fly. So what did I get?
Which
I'm on
number?
a different day.
Okay.
Because I already played the one from today and yesterday. So like I just got 6 of 8. Nope. 7 of 9. I just got 7 of 9 and my rarity score is 427. So the average is 5.4. And if you want to like really go through it, you can see all the options, whatever. So this is a very similar thing to Sporkle back in the day.
Yeah, I think I remember that name, Sporkle.
Sporkle, it had a timer, and you would go in and you would play, like it would be like Masters. Like this is also kind of why I know like some of this shit, but like you would go to it and it would be like Masters champions, and you'd have to like try to name them all.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like all trivia like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not a good thing for me. And actually, so her cousin showed it to me at the wedding this weekend. So I'm sitting at the table like, do you guys, oh, get up and eat? I go, doing the grid. And actually, I was sitting there with Courtney because she didn't get up to get food yet either.
Yeah.
And
Shout out
she's
to
like,
Courtney.
and she's like, and I'm like, she's like, what are you doing? I go, I don't know. Something Dave showed me. I'm like, I'm probably like autistic. She goes, no, dude, you probably just have like ADHD. I go, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm fucking sitting here until I fucking figure this out.
That's funny.
She just get super hyper focused on something. I go, yep. And it happens every time with shit like this. Not again, it's not a great thing for me. Now, hopefully, but I see I can go back in time. It's so fucking easy. Like that's like kind of,
Yeah.
that's kind of my problem because I can just go back and forth. Kind of want to get on Sporkle now too. And Jones is probably sitting there like, oh shit, he remembers. Sporkle was a fucking rough go.
Who was in the Hall of Fame for the Bengals?
There's only 4 players.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I got one.
because I just put in Boomer Esiason and he is not in the Hall of Fame.
I got one. So eventually, like when you run out of guesses, you can see like results.
Right.
I
Right.
got Anthony Munoz, and so did 75% of people.
Oh, geez. I
So
don't
the
even know
other
who that
thing,
is.
he's a lineman. So the other thing with this is you get a rarity score. So it helps to pick more obscure people.
Right.
Um, Now sometimes you don't know, so it's like, I thought there was one I was doing. It was like Eagles Chiefs, and I go, oh, I'll pick LaShawn McCoy. Like, who's gonna remember he played for the Chiefs? 50% of the people who
Yeah.
fucking played did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah. So
why.
I would imagine it's like recency thing too, right? So like
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of them is a 1,000-yard receiving season in the Broncos. Like if you put Jerry Jeudy, like everyone and their fucking mother is going to have Jerry Jeudy.
yeah. He would probably be most likely, but with them,
But
I didn't
like
do
you could
this.
do Eric Decker.
I don't know if Decker got to 1,000, but yeah, like he's obscure enough, or like Julius Thomas, that would be a good one. I don't know if he quite
Oh
got there
yeah.
either, the tight
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Um, I threw in Ed McCaffrey, and that was like 20 something
Oh wow.
percent. But I did there was one I was doing, it was Bears Packers. I put Cedric Benson, 0.8%. And
How do people
and
not remember Cedric Benson?
and then a Lions quarterback that threw for 3,000. It was the same grid. I put John Kitna, that was like 6%. So if you know someone that's super obscure, it
Yeah.
definitely helps.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone that's Falcons Bengals. Would Pac-Man Jones never played for the Falcons, right? Or
No,
Dante Hall?
I don't think he played for the Bengals.
Because I know he went other places after Atlanta. Did he go to the Chiefs, maybe? I think he went to the Chiefs. Oh no, he was with the Chiefs. Dante Hall was never with Atlanta. He started his career with the Chiefs and then went to the Rams. Who the fuck am I thinking of? Who was the kick returner for the Falcons that was nasty? I thought it was Dante Hall.
I mean, Hester was there for like a season.
Yeah. That's weird. I don't know why I thought Dante Hall was on the Falcons.
No, he was a Chiefs guy.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these get tough, right? Like the whole middle row, go figure, it's the Bengals. All three of the Bengals row. I don't really know who it would be. I feel like shit like that, you're gonna get like an offensive lineman. Right? Like
Oh, I got a Bengals Falcons. Hayden Hurst.
oh shit. Wow. Yeah. That's a good one.
This is what I mean, though. You have to be fucking fucked up. So Jesse Bates is the popular one there.
Oh, right. The safety. He just went to the Falcons. The problem is sometimes because I'm slightly autistic, when I've played this before, I get hung up on one way. So like I only think of guys who started for the Broncos and then went to the Bengals, right? Like I don't think of, oh, who was a Bengal and then went to the Broncos. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't, sometimes my brain doesn't go the other way. Because I've done this
I will
before and then
say,
I get through it and I'm like, oh shit, obviously that guy. And I was like, I didn't think about the other way around.
yeah. So I mean, like even looking at this one, so
Would
like the
TJ
Bengal
Hushmanzada be one?
for what?
Did he play for the Broncos ever?
I don't know. I thought he may have for a second, but I know he went to Seattle. But anyway, so like this one like seems fairly difficult though because there's only 27 Giants Hall of Famers. There's only 4 Bengals Hall of Famers. There's only 14 guys that caught 1,000 yards for the Falcons, and only 15 guys that caught 1,000 yards for the Broncos. So to not only hit that, but also get it with any type of rarity, that's super fucking hard.
Right. I'm gonna check my original guess with Pac-Man. I don't know. I don't think he played for. Oh, I just typed in Pac-Man. What was it? It's Adam Jones. Oh, it worked. He did play for the Broncos. It must have been like
Okay, that
like
sound
a practice
yeah,
squad or
yeah,
something.
that sounds moderately familiar.
Yeah, I got 8 out of 9. The only one I didn't get was Anthony Munoz. Oh, Samaje Perine. How did you like? How did neither one of us think of that?
Because I don't remember him playing for the Broncos.
He's on the Broncos right now.
That's why I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Brandon Marshall, Devontae Freeman. I didn't get Jesse Bates or Anthony Munoz. I got Hayden. I stole yours, so I cheated on one. But oh, Demarius Thomas, I forgot about him. R.I.P.
Yeah, like I didn't want to go with him because he's like the most recent guy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a fun one. I forgot about this. I forgot this existed. Now I'm probably going to start playing every
Yeah,
day.
this is a problem.
Especially now because I just kind of like sit around and don't do a whole lot. I'm going to end up playing like every single fucking grid that they have.
This and Sporkle.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Yeah. Yep. My phone is just going to die every fucking 15 minutes. It's going to have to stay constantly plugged in. But I'll become a sports trivia fucking psychonaut. Like, oh, did you know Eric Decker once got 1,000 yards for the Broncos? All right, let's see what else. Oh, actually, before we get into like any other actual news, we do have a loser lap to take on the death pool again. Brooks Robinson, the second baseman for the Orioles, like way back in
Oh,
the 50s or 60s, maybe 70s. I don't know, but he's a Hall of Fame second baseman for the Orioles. Probably the second best Oriole of all time behind Cal Ripken Jr. If you don't count Sammy Sosa, because he did all of his damage on the Cubs. Yeah, people forget Hall of Fame Oriole Sammy Sosa.
when did he play for the Orioles? Like later in his career or
Yeah,
early in his career? No, because he was with the Rangers early.
yeah,
White Sox, both, neither.
Rangers. Then this would be a
Cubs,
good.
obviously for the
Well, yeah, this would be a good Sporkle one. Yeah, he started with the Rangers. You were right. He went to the White Sox first, and then he went to the Cubs, and then he went to the Orioles, and then he went back to the Rangers.
I'm going to Sporkle right now. This is not good.
Yeah, that's like I've seen that on Twitter before. I think you might have sent it to me or tagged like me or Nikos in it. Where it's like if someone starts a thread and it goes name someone and a team that they're not really known for. And so like I just remember one that sticks out is like I forget the team that it was, but it was Jeff Kent. Was it the Red Sox? Did Jeff Kent ever play for the Red Sox before he retired?
God, I hope not.
For some reason, I feel like it was like, oh, Hall of Famer from the Red Sox, Jeff Kent. No, he never played. Like Indians or something. Everyone was like, oh. But it's like you name a person and then you pick an obscure team that they played for. So it would be like people forget Hall of Famer for the Baltimore Orioles, Sammy Sosa. Like, but it was like a huge long Twitter thread of everyone doing that. I thought that was pretty funny because you get like, really great guys, like really great players through all different sports. And it's like a team that no one remembers that they actually played for. Or like it would be like Tampa Bay Bucks great, like Brandon Stokely. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Brooks Robinson, he died, which the whole reason I bring it up too is because I'm a jackass. And in the death pool, I took Luis Aparicio, who was I think the shortstop for the White Sox back in the day, probably like same timeline, maybe 40s, 50s, whatever. And obviously I got the wrong middle infielder from that generation. I went Luis Aparicio and Brooks Robinson kicked the bucket. So swing and a miss on that one. All right. So I guess like I suppose we can talk a little bit about the fucking Israel stuff. Have you seen anything about all that craziness?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it.
So truthfully, I haven't really paid super close attention to it. I know something has happened. Like I know there's like terrorist attacks and like Hamas is like fucking shit up over there. And like abducting people and trying to get ransoms and like just doing terrorist shit. But I'm less, I guess, interested. I hesitate to use the word interested because that's not really what I mean, but I'll just say it. Less interested in like the what's actually going on, and I'm more interested in looking at it from like the 10,000-foot view, right? Like I don't really care to get into like the nitty-gritty details of what's happening in Israel, mostly also because I don't really know what's going on outside of the generalities. But I think it's interesting that things with Ukraine have been seemingly slowing down in the United States from a political standpoint, right? Like this isn't to say that like the actual war and fighting has changed, but it's become a whole lot less popular to support the war in Ukraine over the last 4 months, maybe 6 months, but we'll stay conservative and say, 4 months. To the point where in order to keep the government afloat and not have it shut down, the Congress had to make the deal that they would sign the provisional fucking spending bill or whatever to keep the government open for 45 days, but they would not allow funding for the Ukraine or the Ukraine war effort in that bill. Isn't it convenient that shortly thereafter, Israel is attacked by a terrorist group, and now all of those people that were saying we need to stop sending money to Ukraine are now saying, well, we have to support Israel. They're our closest ally in the Middle East. Well, obviously, we need to send resources to Israel to support them. They're the linchpin of the Middle East. They're the good guys over there. Well, clearly, we need to start sending money over there. Well, that's funny because last week you said we need to stop sending money to Ukraine because it had nothing to do with us, and we were essentially fighting a proxy war with Russia. But now this week, you're saying we need to send all this money and all these resources to Israel. Isn't that convenient?
Well, it's not convenient, it just fits someone's narrative.
Like if you can't figure this out, right? Like if you're like a regular person and you can't fucking connect the dots on this one, like I have nothing else to say to you, right? Like I don't know what to say to you because you clearly don't have any common sense. It's what the fuck? What are we doing, right? Like you have the Democrats saying we need to give money to Ukraine. the Republicans saying, no, we're not giving any money to Ukraine. Now Israel gets attacked. Now it's terrible, right? Like obviously they're being attacked by multiple different terrorists, well, one terrorist group, but multiple acts of terrorism. And it's awful. They're like legitimately like killing babies. Like it's pretty fucking bad. They're like blowing up concerts and shit. Like it's really fucked up. It's awful. I'm not trying to like make light of it or anything, but like, do we need to get involved?
I'll say, can I make light of it? Because doesn't this shit happen in the Middle East like all the time? Isn't that the running joke? Like the Middle East is always at war. And I know. Well, this one's bigger. This one's worse. I
Yeah,
get
but this
it.
one's different. This time it's different.
This time.
It's like a
They
tagline for a new action movie. This
they
time
literally
it's
just
different.
blow each other up all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Right? I mean,
like, how are we going to stop war in the Middle East?
We're not. The simple answer is we're not.
No one is.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to. And somehow they haven't blown each other. I think that's the most impressive part is to this point, they've yet to blow each other up. How?
Yeah.
And that's my thing too. Everyone's like, oh, well, it's so dangerous. Like these two powers going at each other. If they're so fucking dangerous, well, how are they both still here?
Yeah.
And again, I don't understand. I don't know fucking acts of war or whatnot, but if they were so bad, dude, if this was North Korea, South Korea, do you think South Korea would still be here?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
If.
Well, it depends. Do we get Dennis Rodman over there in time?
If what they say is fucking true about North Korea, South Korea shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
If those two were going at it, which
right.
seems like what's the point? They're not going to. It's a waste of resources. So I'm like, they're always at war. What are we going to do to stop that?
In particular, the whole Israel-Palestine thing.
That's what I mean is like, this thing is not going anywhere. There is nothing the U.S. can do to fucking fix Israel-Palestine.
Right.
Nothing.
Right. Let alone like everything else that's going on in the Middle East between like Saudi Arabia and Iran and Yemen. There's a fucking genocide going on in Yemen right now that no one talks about.
That's because no one talks about any of the genocides in the Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
there has to be perpetual genocide going on over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean probably.
Like, I don't know. Everyone, like, it seems like, again, this is where I'm probably off base, and that's fine. I'm not a fucking geopolitical person or whatever the fuck. It seems like everyone's giving everybody way too much credit for this one. Like, weren't they at war 2 years ago?
Yeah, they were at war all the time.
Don't they go to war every other year? Like every couple of years?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember being a kid.
Like, they're always
and there was it was all over TV of like I specifically remember like the night vision. It was like green, like the camera was green and you could see like missiles flying through the sky. And I don't know, but that had to have been in the late 90s. Like there was like crazy shit going on.
When did Israel like become a country, depending on who you ask? Because if you ask the Palestinians, it's never.
Yeah, well, I guess if you ask the Palestinians, it would be
never. They don't recognize.
No,
they
I
don't
think it
recognize
was like
as a country.
1950 ish.
They don't recognize them as a country. That's part of the issue here.
Yeah. So what happened was you also run into this like weird shit where, like, if you stop again and take a look at it from like the 10,000 feet or whatever, it's no like sense. You have a group of people that lived in an area that what's the fucking what's the body of water over there? Is it the Red Sea? I don't know. I'm not going to look it up. Let's just say it's the Red Sea, right?
It's the Middle East lake.
Yeah, that's good. Let's, for anonymity purposes.
Yeah, the lake, the lake of the Middle East.
The lake of the Middle East, right? So you have people, a group of people that live on the eastern side of the lake of the Middle East. Thousands of years ago, they get rounded up by the Egyptians and they get taken as slaves away from their homeland on the eastern side of the Middle East Sea. They spend a couple hundred years as slaves in Egypt until eventually they run away and they go back to their home on the eastern side of the Middle Eastern Sea. However, in the couple hundred years that they were gone, other people that are from the same region, they just weren't living in that particular space, migrated into that space because it's a good spot. It's right next to water, right? Like typically life thrives near water. You don't find a whole lot of life, whether it's humans or otherwise, in the Sahara Desert, right? Or the Gobi Desert. Like typically life gets drawn towards water. All of the major cities in the world are on water, whether it's an ocean or a river or what have you. So these other people that live in the region migrate their way over to the eastern side of the Middle Eastern Lake, Sea, whatever we're calling it. And then after the couple hundred years of them living there, they're like, cool, this is where we live now. We've been here for a couple hundred years. Well, the people that originally lived there that were the slaves that ran away from being slaves in Egypt went back to their old land and they were like, hey, this is our land. And those people are like, no, it's not. Because I live here. My parents lived here. My grandparents lived here. Their parents lived here. But the people that come back were like, yeah, well, my great, 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 great grandparents lived here. So we were here first. And it's like, okay, well, we're going to do this. Like, we're going to do this now. So now you have two groups of people fighting over the eastern side of the Middle Eastern Sea. One that was there like thousands of years ago that came back, and one that like moved in the meantime.
The Mediterranean Sea.
It is the Mediterranean Sea. Yeah.
Or the Mediterranean Sea's over there. The Aegean Sea runs in between. That's all the same shit.
Yeah.
And then the Red Sea is actually south of Israel.
Okay. The Red Sea is the one that's down by Egypt.
Yep.
Because that's what Moses
Did
did his whole thing with.
Suez Canal. What a weird place in the fucking world.
So.
And the Black Sea's north of all that crap. Anywho.
Yeah. So that's the story in a nutshell. That's the Sarcasm Speaks on Palestine-Israel conflict in 90 seconds or less. Right? That's effectively what happened. And that was 2,000 years ago. Right? Like when so if the original Jews got rounded up as slaves like 3,000 years ago to take to Egypt, like they probably ran away 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, right? So this has literally been going on for 2,000 years.
Effectively forever.
Yeah. And then the bigger thing happened in like the 50s, because after the Holocaust, that whole thing, when the Germans almost got rid of all the Jews in the world, or at least in Europe, a bunch of them went back to Israel to like reclaim the land. And then that, I think, is when Israel was created as a country.
Yeah, it looks like it was 1948.
Yeah. Yeah. But Palestine technically are they like a registered country? Like, as if there's a registry, but are they like I know like there are some places and some people that recognize them as a country, but like, did they file the proper paperwork?
It's considered a state.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's weird, it's fucked up, it's awful, it sucks. But it's been going on for literally thousands of years. And the same, like I said before, the same people that said we need to stop sending money to Ukraine are now like, oh, we should send all our money to Israel. Like, how about we just
I
don't
think
send our
Israel's going to
money
be
anywhere?
fine.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
Israel can
most
handle
likely.
themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty fucking badass. So,
You know what the currency in Israel is?
no,
Shekels.
no fucking way.
No, it's not schmeckles.
Oh, shekels.
25 schmeckles. I don't know what is that a lot? I thought shekels was just like a fake word for money.
Yeah. How many shekels is that?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's fucked up what's going on over there, but everything that happens in the fucking Middle East is fucked up. Or so I thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm the idiot. Or I'm
I
the
mean,
asshole.
I kind of right there with you.
Well, again, it's like what are we gonna do? How like you just I know you gave like the full history of it. Like if you want to go back, like dude, they have a war all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit what like they don't care what they do. They don't care who they kill, how they kill them. They don't give a shit whatsoever. They could fucking care less. And it
Right.
sounds like that comes from both sides. Because if we were because again, just what it feels like from this side, it feels like the Palestinians are almost like the fucking Tusken Raiders from Star Wars, where it's like they're fighting with like rocks and shit, but they do like fucked up stuff. And
Yeah.
obviously it's more than that. And like you're sitting there and I'm like, Israel's like an actual country. Like, do they not like how is this still happening? Like if they hate each other that much, like really that much, how do they both still exist? And like I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, because I think Palestine is now I could be speaking out of my ass, which I probably am. I think they're just like areas within Israel. Like I don't think
They
there's
are.
it's a defined border of
They
like
have
this
two
is
territories. It's
Palestine
they have the West Bank and the
and the
Gaza
Gaza
Strip.
Strip, yeah. And like
But like
those exist
they don't
within
have like a
Israel.
Palestinian army. They just
No.
have like these militant groups.
Yeah.
What I mean is like they have like fucking militias
Yeah.
and you have like
Yeah.
a real country.
Yeah.
And everyone gives Israel all this credit, but like how are they still hanging around?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it
Because you
has
can't
to
just
do
you know
so
why
the
they're too popular to give to create a fucking genocide. That's the issue. They wouldn't be around if it wasn't such a fucking popular. Where's the genocide right now?
Yemen.
No, where is it? You were saying Yemen? Yeah, like
Yemen.
who's
Yeah.
keeping tabs on Yemen?
Yeah.
Yeah, but who's keep? There's no one's keeping tabs. Like no one knows what's going on. I don't even know what I don't even know what that is.
Somewhere in the Middle East. It's
But
next to
everyone knows Israel,
Oman.
Palestine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Kuwait. I think it's in that
All
area.
right. Kuwait's near Iraq.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like Israel, Palestine's almost like too big to do something that fucked up.
Yeah. It's too much in the
Because then
spotlight.
someone would stop them. Yeah. So like it's too big. They've gotten too big.
Well, the other thing too is I don't know about the Palestinians in particular, but I know Hamas, who is the terrorist group, they are funded by the Iranian government.
So that must be that must be how they don't get blown off the planet.
Yeah, because
Because
Iran is sitting there being like, okay, Israel, if you fuck them up, we're gonna fuck you up. It
but
goes
they are
back to the
but the
whole like mutually assured destruction thing.
yeah, but like this is the thing though. It's like Israel is fucking bombing the fuck out of Palestine, right? Or allegedly bombing the fuck out of Palestine right now.
Yeah.
So like if you're this is where I truly don't get like war and I guess is it geopolitics? Is that the correct
Yeah,
or is it I don't
yeah,
know, whatever. I just don't get it. Like when does Iran say like enough's enough? Like what like they are bombing the place that you fund, but like
yeah,
that's not enough to step in. So what is? And
right.
this is the part this is the shit I don't get.
Yeah, because
And it's
everyone
like Iran's like
now is ripping Biden because Biden gave a bunch of money back to Iran as part of like a prisoner swap. Like they had Americans in jail or whatever. So they gave us the Americans and we had seized a ton of their money. So we gave them their money back. And now everyone is like, well, that money just went to Hamas and now that's what's funding Hamas. And it's like, okay, like but potentially, probably, yeah, right. Like, but Iran is a pretty fucking big country. I'm sure they didn't need the money that we gave back to them to fund Hamas,
well, also,
right?
isn't
Like,
this wasn't this attack so calculated that like they've been playing they might have been playing this for 50 years because it was 50 years on the anniversary date, right?
yeah, yeah, something
Of
like that.
something else.
Yeah, so the last one of the last times they fought.
Or like I don't know, there was like a big one.
Yeah,
It was like the Leif Erikson Day attack or some shit. But yeah, they've been playing in that shit for 50 years, it sounds like. Because 50 years to the day, that's no fucking coincidence. Could
right.
have been 48 years to the day. 50 years to the day.
Yeah,
They've been playing that shit for 50 years. Like whatever Biden did was recently.
right.
That doesn't matter. Now the next one, maybe that money, cycles through and whatever. Goes through the washing machine, whatever they do with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. Or not, just
Yeah, or not. I mean,
change
they probably don't give a
change
fuck.
the track of it.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. That money went to the people. This money went over there.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it goes back to like what we said a long time ago. It was an episode title is only the Sith deal in absolutes, right? For people on the conservative side to say Joe Biden funded this by giving Iran its money, it's like, okay, that's not really accurate. And then for people on the left to say, well, no, that money is actually being held in a separate bank and they can only take it like as needed or whatever. And it's like, that's also probably not true either. Right. Like, yeah, we gave them a bunch of fucking money, like I said before, and they funded this terrorist group to go fuck shit up. They didn't need the money that we sent back to them, regardless of whether or not Biden gave them like the billions of dollars, they were still going to do this attack.
Sounds like this shit was happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like neither side is correct in their argument. They're both fucking full of shit, which checks out because they're politicians and all politicians are cunts.
And people who feel strongly about politicians also cunts.
Yes, I agree. So yeah, I mean, there's not really a ton we can do about it, but it is what it is. It's like you said, it's unfortunate. Hopefully it is rectified relatively soon, but then you got some people, which I mean, it remains to be seen. But there's some people in particular, like Dan Holloway from Drinking Bros podcast, came out and said, like, keep a wary eye out in this country because we've effectively had like an open border for the last like year and people are just like coming in by the droves. And he goes, we have no idea where they're from. He was like, yeah, they crossed the southern border, but you don't know if they are, from the Middle East that cross the border to come in and carry out terrorist attacks. So like, yeah, that could be true, right? It could be true, but like, we don't know for sure. And I suppose like it's always better to be safe than sorry and be prepared and alert. But like, I also don't know if it's worth living every day like, well, is today going to be the terrorist attack? Oh, are they going to blow up Boston today? Or what are they going to do? Those fucking those immigrants that crossed illegally, what are they going to do? It's like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. But like, is that really how you want to fucking go day to day? Because I don't. Like I said, like, you're prepared if something does happen, but you don't have to like let it consume you.
Trying to see if I could just find like a list of wars, but I don't think you can because they fight every year since 1948
Yeah, it's like never actually
in some way,
stopped. It's
some
never
way, shape, or
stopped for
form.
it to be considered a different war.
Yeah, there might have been like 1 or 2 years where like nobody died.
Yeah.
Fun stuff though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
I also like, again, it's like what's happening over there is like super fucked up, like it is. I just don't know how people have the energy for it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you like? What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. And like, aren't you busy enough? Right? Like, don't you have like,
Well, no, they don't have time for like things, but like they got time to worry about fucking Israel
yeah.
or Palestine. I don't know which one's in trouble. I don't know. Which one do we like? Do we like Israel?
Well, now it all depends because there's a big thing going on now on Twitter that the Black Lives Matter group is supporting Palestine. So like the Black Lives Matter Twitter, I think, account or Instagram account, whatever, posted this thing that says we stand with Palestine. We support Palestine. So then other people are like, okay, so you're openly supporting a terrorist attack? And now like people are just going back and forth and it's, it's people are just, like I said, people are swapping out the Ukraine flag for the Israeli flag. But it's a lot more divided, right? Like no one in this country was like, well, I don't know. I think Russia's kind of like the good guys here. But like now, most of the people are like, oh, I stand with Israel. But like there's like 33% of people, I would say, are like, well, I don't know. I think Palestine is the good guys here. It's like, oh, you mean the people that just fucking blew up a concert and chopped off little kids' heads and are taking children for ransom? They're the good guys, huh? Okay.
I just went to the muted words on my Twitter. Palestine, Israel, Hamas. And then it goes back to FTX, which I don't even remember. Was that the crypto thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And student loan. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
So yeah, we don't know. If you support Palestine, you're probably fucking a lefty. And if you
I don't
are
know how I don't know how you pick a side. That's imagine picking a side in the fucking Middle East.
yeah. Yeah.
Not only can you not win, because they're always fucking fighting. Like, is either side really like that good?
No. No. And that's the other thing, right? Like Israel isn't
It would be like trying to pick
fucking
a side
innocent.
between like serial killers and fucking kidnappers.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the serial killers aren't just, it's like it's like trying to defend that shit. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird,
It is weird.
but what can you do?
You can mute the words on Twitter. You can do
Yeah,
that
you
much.
can actually. That's a good call.
Fuck that. I am not fucking dealing with that. I made it through a few hours of that shit and I was like, nope, we are
Yeah,
not doing this.
I am all set with that. I may actually do it too right now. All right. Do you want to wrap this up or do you want to do one more?
We can wrap this up. I think I got
All
my
right.
final thought.
All right. What do you got? Lay it on me.
Okay. So I was a hired gun for a golf tournament. Not not yesterday, the Monday before. So the Monday of last week for when this actually comes out. So I was fortunate enough to be in like a what would be considered like a nicer charity tournament. So I've heard of like some of these where you sign up and everyone gets a pair of shoes and a pair of Oakleys. And it's
Oh
like,
wow.
oh fuck, like what does it cost to even get in?
Yeah.
Um, and then like sometimes like crazy prizes, whatever. So I was lucky enough to be in this one. And
Where
like
was
all the
it?
drinks TPC.
Nice.
So it was at TPC. All the drinks were free, cigars were free, um, food after. Like you didn't have to pay the $20 to do like closest to the pin or like any of that shit. It was just like everything was included. I think what made this one possible is I don't think you could sign up as like an individual. I think it was
Okay.
all corporate. So company buys a sponsorship and they get a foursome, and then depending on level of sponsorship, whatever.
Right.
I
Right.
think that's what made this sort of possible. So again, I was lucky enough to be invited to it and playing it, whatever. So I get a text on the way in. It was like, oh, hey, stop by the PXG table. They're giving away putters. I'm like, they're giving away putters. What the fuck? So, but I'm like, I just got a new putter. And I'm like, I don't like, I just like, I got this one adjusted. It was a whole thing. Like, I had to go to 2 stores to get it fucking adjusted. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I wanted this putter. I got it. I like this one. I'm going to roll with it. So they asked me when I get there, it's like, oh, did you go get a putter? I'm like, no. Like, oh, I just got one. Like, I don't need another putter. So, and it's PXG. So what they were doing was they had demos, and if you wanted a putter, you could either take one day of, or they would order it for you, depending if they had it or not. So again, pretty cool, but definitely not something I was used to. Like,
Yeah.
I'm also sitting there. There's a charity tournament. I feel a little scummy taking a putter for free that I'm just going to turn around and sell.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't seem right, especially when I was invited to play in
Right.
this thing.
Right.
So we're on the 17th hole, and they come out and they go, I got a putter for Dadero and this last name. I'm like, okay. And I just grab it and I'm like, okay, hey. And I look around the 2 other guys. I go, hey, did you guys order this putter? They're like, no, I got like a half circle. And the other one's like, yeah, I got something different. I'm like, okay, well, why? I go, I'll run in at the end and I'll just like let them know, like, I didn't order this. So whatever, we'll figure it out. So I go in and I go, yeah, hey, so like this is tagged with my name, like no big deal. But I go, but I didn't pick a putter. They're like, yeah. So we just gave you that one. Like everyone gets a putter. Everyone leaves with a putter. I'm like, fuck. I go, well, what do you got left-handed? And of course, like the options kind of suck. Like
Yeah.
I could have went to the table, but there was nothing for me to demo. Like again,
Right.
left-handed issues. Never
Right.
mind. It's like I was happy with what I had. So it's like, am I just gonna get a PXG of what I already just got like settled in on? I'm like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Right.
So yeah, I'm the proud owner of a new PXG Blackbird left-handed putter. I don't know, the thing's fucking disgusting looking. But it was the best option given like what was there
Yeah.
and like what was available at the time. I don't know, I can get it adjusted. I could sell it. Who the hell knows?
It's gonna end up being your favorite club. You'll be like, oh, dude, I love this putter.
Well, so here's so okay, so let me double back when I said I had to go to 2 places to get my shit adjusted. So I went to Joe and Lee's in Easton,
Mhm.
and I knew that what the following situation was a possibility. So I go in, I go, do you guys have the ability to adjust the left-handed putter? Because They used to, but the machine was down the street in the performance center. Well, the
Right.
performance center doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know what's happening with the machines or why it was down there in the first place. You would think if it was down the street and not in the shop, it's because they didn't really have space for it or something.
Right.
So I go in, he goes, "Oh shit, man." He's like, "I don't know." He goes, "The machine might not be set up." It was not set up. So I'm like, "All right, well, I can go to the PGA store." So this was a Sunday. PGA store opens at 10. I call it like 10:20. I go, "Hey, can you guys adjust a left-handed putter?" And guy goes, "Yeah, we can, but the guy's not here right now." I go, "Okay, no problem. When would be like a good time to come by?" He goes, "Oh, anytime you're coming into the store." I go, "You just said that the
Yeah.
guy's not there. Do you know when he might be coming in?" Disconnected on the phone call. I'm like, "You have got to be fucking kidding me."
Jesus fucking Christ.
So I just took a flyer and I like left the house like an hour later, went down. The guy was working, cleaned up like a couple of things he was doing and then just did it on site.
Yeah.
$10, whatever. But I was like, I'm like, I like that. Like, I'm trying to find out like, when's a good time? Because I've called before about wedges and I never actually like got the wedges adjusted. I was gonna do something weird, but I was like, "Can you guys adjust like left-handed wedges?" And he goes, "Yeah, I just can't do it today. The guy's not in." I go, "No problem, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's like I wasn't gonna come today." I go, "It's like 2 clubs. Is that something you do in the store?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah. The guy's just not here today." I go, "I understand.
Yeah. I'm
I'm
hearing you.
asking for future reference. Like, I'll call back some other time. But like, if you guys can't do it, then I won't fucking come to you. Very
Right.
simple."
Right. Yeah.
So I've like, it's like every time I call, because it's like one of those things like you think from like a corporate standpoint or like a marketing standpoint. If you need an adjustment, you just, we'll do it. If it's just a couple clubs, we'll do it while you're in the store. No problem.
Yeah.
Well, there's one fucking guy who does the adjustment. So if he ain't there, then you have a fucking problem here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to make sure that if I fucking drive over, the fucking
Right.
guy's there. Now,
Right.
if you say, "Hey, like, dude, I'm fucking backed up, like it might be like a half an hour," no problem.
Yeah.
I'll fucking wander around the store.
Yeah.
Or you
I
know
can
what? I'll just
gladly
go hit
spend a half hour in the
I'll go hit
PGA
some
store.
drivers. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about me. But if the dude's like not even in the store, then no, I'm not coming. I'm not trying to come over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we
that
can
was
do
like,
that, but the guy that does it isn't here. Okay, well, when is he going to be there?
it's almost like
Whenever you
Wally.
come to the store.
It's okay. Anytime you're in, we can adjust it. Well, clearly not, because if I was at the store now, you
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Yeah. Sure is a hot one today.
Yeah. Or no, fucking Wally. It's like, oh, well, I'd let you use my chainsaw, but it's broken. Thanks, dude. Like,
Yeah.
the fuck kind of help is that? So yeah, now I got this PXG putter. I think
Sick.
I got to. I either got to go get it adjusted or I got to sell it. There's
Yeah.
no like.
Is it a different machine that they adjust left-handed versus right-handed? Or was it just like the putter adjusting machine that was in the performance center?
I don't know, but
Because it seems not very efficient to have a machine that adjusts right-handed clubs and then another machine that adjusts left-handed clubs. Like I
now
could understand like if there was a machine for a putter and then a machine for like long clubs.
well, there definitely is that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the process of switching it back and forth is.
Yeah.
And for the infrequency
Well,
that they
do you
probably
just
need to
set
make.
it to Wumbo?
See, that's what I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's as easy as just setting it to Wumbo. Like, you might have to like move some stuff around.
Yeah. It's probably a
Because I'm
pain
like,
in the ass.
that's what I'm thinking is like, dude, it could be as fucking stupid as this sounds. It could be something where it's like, the shop's kind of small and the club points left and there's a wall there, so we can't do
Yeah.
left-handed. Like it could be that stupid. I don't know. Like
Right.
I'm not a club builder. Like I don't know what the switching process is. So maybe it is something like that, but it could be something like, oh, well, to flip it, you have to spin everything around and unbolt this and undo that. And,
Yeah.
it's just easier to have two machines if you have them.
Right.
Now, clearly, the demand for adjusting left-handed clubs is very low because they closed the performance center in March. I went there 6 months later.
Yeah.
And the shit wasn't set up.
Yeah.
So the demand is very low. So I don't know how annoying it is to flip a machine. Now, if there are any club builders, amateur or professional, let me know. I might use your services like a fucking drug dealer. Actually, there is a dude in West Roxbury that's like that. Like he's tied in. I know someone that goes to him. He's tied in to like a Boston group of golfers or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's a club builder. Like I don't think it's professional. I think he builds clubs at his house.
Yeah.
So it's like you go over his house and there might be like 3 or 4 guys just like hanging. And like someone's like, oh, can you do a wedge? He goes, oh, give me 15 minutes and I'll like do it, whatever. And it's like, oh, any clubs today? Nah, I'm just here. It's like, what the fuck? This is like a drug dealer. It's like literally like a fucking drug dealer's house. Or like a fucking barbershop. Like the barbershop in Medford I used to go to, there were dudes hanging out all the time, not getting a haircut.
Yeah. Just the spot to be.
So yeah, so truthfully, I don't know. I don't think there's a left-handed and a right-handed machine. I believe that there's a left-handed, right-handed orientation. I don't know what that situation is. Because if I go right now to try to buy a piece of equipment, it's not going to be like, oh, do you need a left-handed adjuster or a right-handed adjuster? It's not going to be that.
Right.
I just don't know what the process of switching it back and forth is.
Yeah. Probably a pain in the ass.
It's probably, but it's probably like needlessly stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like you said, you probably have to flip the whole machine around, but there's no wheels on it.
Yeah, but it's
right?
like you're probably like moving like gears and discs and like moving nuts, whatever, and then you got to recalibrate the thing, just so that you can like put a fucking pole on the side and go bang bang. Yep. 2 degrees flat. Take it out and then redo it all just to go back to right-handed.
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Although if they're not going to use their bending machine, I'll take it.
Yeah, can I just have
it? I'll learn how to use
it. You can be an amateur club builder.
Why not?
Yeah, but only for left-handed clubs.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, the one shop in Easton that fucking adjusts clubs can't do left-handed, so give me the fucking stuff. I'll learn how to do it, and I'll be the link.
Yeah, there you go. Filling a need in an industry. All right. So my final thought is we just got some new sports that are introduced into the Olympics. So 2028 just announced like all the Olympic games that are gonna, like the sports that are gonna happen in LA. And they announced that cricket, squash, baseball and softball, flag football, and lacrosse are going to be added to, well, they've been nominated to be added, and then the IOC takes an official vote on Sunday. So this Sunday, there'll be an official vote taken on these sports, but these are the ones that most likely are going to be added.
You get rid of fucking flag football, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, so like what the fuck? Why the fuck is flag football going to become an Olympic sport? Like, are you shitting me? Who the fuck wants to watch Olympic flag football?
It's a game for children.
Yes. Also, imagine like because at some point, and now I say this, and I'm sure there are plenty of sports that are super obscure that we just don't know about because they don't get any fucking coverage. But like, imagine getting to claim that you're an Olympian. And someone's like, you got the fucking Olympic rings tattooed on your forearm. And someone's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Like you went to the Olympics. You're an Olympian. Like, yeah. Like, what sport did you play? Flag football. I would immediately be like, you need to get that fucking tattoo removed. You're not an Olympian. Flag football is not an Olympic sport. Like, get fucked. That's the dumbest thing ever. That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's like, what are we gonna do next? Ultimate Frisbee?
Yeah. Like,
you can't drug test an Ultimate Frisbee team. They drink while they play.
Yeah.
They're high all the time. You can't fucking, that doesn't work.
Yeah. It's absolutely retarded.
Flag football is a sport for children and washed up adults.
Yep. Washed up adults that think they still got it. Oh, I still got a little bit in the tank. No, you don't. Yeah, I do. I play flag football. No, you don't. Like, you don't have anything in the tank. You play flag football.
Yeah. Like,
that's worse than like the 34-year-old that plays semi-pro football. Yeah, I play semi-pro. Dude, you're 34 years old.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, give it up.
Is flag football like a global sport?
I didn't think so.
Like, wouldn't men's field hockey make way more sense?
Yeah, is it already an Olympic sport though?
Men's field hockey?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen a men's field hockey game?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I've played field hockey.
I played one intramural game. That was enough for me. Stupid sport. Dumb fucking sport, Mary.
Yeah. So like cricket, yeah, I can get that. Like, that's a pretty big sport. Squash, whatever. Game. Squash is fine. Baseball, softball coming back. Sure. Whatever. Like, baseball is probably
baseball is a weird one. Like, I just don't understand why it's like in, out, not in, like,
yeah. It's kind of weird that they're bringing it
Europe
back
doesn't play it
because of the World Baseball Classic. Because like the whole reason the WBC started was because they removed baseball from the Olympics. So baseball as a whole was like, all right, well, fuck you. We'll just have our own World Baseball Classic. So like, if baseball goes back to the Olympics, are they still going to do the WBC? Like, I mean,
it would just be the same idea as like the Euros.
Yeah.
Or whatever they play in between.
Yeah.
World Cup. Whatever. There's something every year in soccer too. I don't know.
Yeah. But we got lacrosse. That's going to be an Olympic sport now too.
Well, yeah, it's going to take over everything.
It's the fastest sport on 2 feet. And it's gonna become the biggest sport, more popular. Football's dying.
Yep, they all are.
Football
and NBA dead.
They only held 88 of the 100 most watched things on TV in 2022.
Lacrosse must have had the other 12, right?
Nope.
That's weird.
Yeah. One of them was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And then what did I say? 4 of them were like political programming.
Yeah, I think so. It was, I don't remember the exact numbers, but
3 of them were World Cup soccer matches, which I'm assuming were probably the finals and then the 2 semifinal games. Those are probably the only 3. Yeah.
So who won the last World Cup? France? Did France lose? No, Argentina won. Argentina beat France.
Sure. I don't remember. I didn't watch 1 second of it.
Wasn't that like last year?
I think it was it was 2022, right?
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Fucking stupid.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to get some new Olympic sports. But some of them are new old sports too, because I think cricket used to be an Olympic sport and was taken out. Lacrosse was an Olympic sport and got taken out. This was like So cricket had its lone, it says here, its lone Olympic appearance in 1900, and lacrosse was removed after the 1908 Olympics. So like they used to be in, and then obviously we already talked about baseball. But get flag football the fuck out of there. Like I already don't watch the Olympics, but like making flag football an Olympic sport is absolutely ridiculous. I feel like it's insulting to actual Olympians.
It's insulting to Olympians and football players.
Yeah.
Because in flag football, the best flag footballer is not good enough to play real football.
Right.
And I think that's my biggest issue, is you have a farce of a sport that
Also,
it just doesn't.
the United States would clean up.
That's what I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering, like flag football doesn't scream like a fucking global sport to me.
Because I feel like you said, it's not global, but then also like you would get guys like Chad Ochocinco that would probably be on the Olympic flag football team.
Well, even
like despite him being like 42 or however old he is at this point.
yeah, but you could even get like certain college quarterbacks that like fit the mold, but like can't read a fucking defense or some shit. Like there's no pass rush.
Right.
They'll just sit that back there and just pick people off. Like,
right.
Where do you get comparable experience in any other country?
Yeah, like imagine the United States Olympic flag football team is Brandon Whedon at quarterback, throwing to Chad Ochocinco and Des Bryant.
Like, but I'm even thinking like, because you will get guys that don't make the league, but are still like young and agile and all that shit. Like Jordan Travis. Like I don't know if Jordan Travis is going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
If he's your flag football quarterback, like how do you stop that if you're if you're the Dutch fucking flag football team?
Yeah, or you just get Brock Osweiler.
Or you're the South Korean flag, right?
Like someone that just has like a massive fucking cannon.
Well, I was thinking someone that runs too, like broken plays and doesn't get tackled well. Put Vic out there.
Michael Vick Redemption Tour. He's going to lead the U.S. Olympic flag football team to gold.
That would be something.
Yeah. But then, like, for an Olympic flag football team, do you still have to have, what would it be, 14 guys? Like, would the same guys that play on offense play on D? Like, because when we, like, as just jabronis, like, when we play flag football, we play two ways. Right? But like, would you have an offense and a defense crew?
Yeah, most flag football leagues you have separate.
Yeah. Which is like really something else. That's like, wow, you play defense on a flag football team, huh? Like, still not good enough to play on offense for flag football, huh? Yeah. Yikes.
I'm just like trying to think of, again, like maybe like an undersized corner, but like wheels, and like people just kind of throw over him, whatever.
Yeah.
Again, like I'm just like really struggling to see how like the South Korean flag football team beats like Division I X players.
Yeah.
That are all just like fast and shifty. And it's like you cannot touch them.
Yeah, I agree.
Dumb idea.
Yeah, really dumb idea. Which means they'll probably approve it.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Which case maybe I'll dust off the cleats.
Yeah.
I can play the right side. I can play the right side corner.
I could be an Olympian. So we'll see. Well, I guess we'll see next week whether or not the IOC actually ratifies it. But that is going to do it for us on that note. So thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe up above, hit the thumbs up down below. Tell everybody you know about the show, spread the word. If you're audio only, you can also subscribe wherever you're listening. If you happen to use Apple or Spotify, you can leave us a rating and a review. So that would be massively helpful if you would go do that, please. Much appreciated there. You can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. On Twitter, it's Sarcasm_speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. The website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Go to the merch store, buy our merch. Thank you to mybookie.com. Use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up to double your first deposit up to $1,000. And also shout out to Moon Brew. I was drinking earlier, right here, as I always do. Use the promo code in the show notes below, and you will get 10% off your order every single time you check out over there. Noonbrew.com is their website, even though the product is Moon Brew. So, yeah, you can use either one. Moon Brew for nighttime, Noon Brew for daytime. It's great. Great product. I endorse it. It works awesome. Check it out. And then lastly, we have the Ice Pod. So you can go to thepodcompany.com, use the promo code in the show notes, and you will get $10 off plus free shipping on your order over there. So until next time, good night, everybody.